Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. If you have a classic automobile like this 1970 Oldsmobile, you've no doubt heard of Inline Tube. They are famous for their brake lines and their fuel lines, but you've brought some braking systems here for us, John. Why do I want to buy brakes from Inline Tube?
Our braking systems are factory components. Everything fits on the car just like the factory. So it's a matter of taking your old components off and having bolt-on systems to replace it. No welding, no cutting, everything comes complete, even with the hose brackets, the brake and fuel lines, everything will bolt right up just like the factory did it.
So you're taking the guesswork out of things. You don't have to mix and match parts from different manufacturers.
Absolutely. No generic parts, no fumbling and relocating stuff. It all fits in the factory locations, so the install is super simple.
A lot of these cars back in the 60s and 70s came with drum brakes. What if I want to upgrade to disc brakes?
That's correct. Most of the cars in the 60s and 70s did have drum brakes. And this is exactly how the factory did it. So it's a matter of taking that drum brake assembly off the car and installing the disc brakes right in its place, and then you will have factory disc brakes.
And of course you have the standard disc brakes there. If you want a little upgrade, a little better performance, a little better stopping power, you can help me there too.
Absolutely. If you are the guy that wants a little bit more out of your braking system, you can go to the cross-drilled and slotted rotor, and that will give you a little bit more stopping power for these cars.
What if you want to stay more authentic and keep the drums on the rear?
Right, that's a factory drum setup right there. It just replaces your old drums, and it's all brand new pieces. Again, it bolts right into the place of the old one. You don't have to reuse any of the parts.
So you can stay true to the original. And you've kind of done that here on the olds as well. You've got the manual brakes still on.
Right.
And you can help me, though, if I want new parts to keep the system the same.
Right, and all these parts are manual disc brake parts right here, no power booster. If you come over here, you can see that the power booster is added. Most of these cars in the 60s had power disc brakes, but the super high performance stuff, they didn't have enough vacuum, so you had to go manual.
So, of course, you do the brake lines and the brakes themselves, and you also do the valving. And this looks unfamiliar to me. Tell me about this piece right here.
Well, on 67 to 70 cars, you had what's called the hold-off valve. So that held the pressure off for a split second, but it also worked in conjunction with this. So these two pieces worked in conjunction from 67 to 70, and then in 1971, they combined those two pieces together.
The parts look great on the vehicle, but they also look correct, John. That's what I love about it.
Right, and here's our finished parts all installed on the vehicle. You got your rotor assembly here, you got your master assembly up top, and all the parts that connect it.
And it's not just the brakes. What other parts have you manufactured for this car?
Besides doing brake and fuel lines and the disc brake conversion stuff, we make everything that connects to these components as well. We make the valves, the hoses, the brackets, and then we've taken it one step further and we've made all the under chassis parts for this car. So you got bushings and center links and boots, and all that stuff is available from Inline Tube.
You must have a huge catalog. How many parts are in there?
There's over 28,000 parts in these catalogs. I think there's 10 different catalogs. It's all listed on our website. Page through them, find your parts, make your car correct.
How many makes and models are you covering, John?
We manufacture parts for American cars from the 30s into the 2000s. Every make you can imagine, GM, Ford, and Chrysler, and even some AMC parts.
All right, well, you know what to do. If you have a restoration or a build, go to inlinetube.com. And oh, by the way, there's a special discount there for Motorhead Garage viewers. Just type in Motorhead. We'll return with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, so keep it right here.